Hello everyone, it's Justine. Today I'm going to show you how to create a spinning wheel card. And this will be featuring the stamps and dies from the Stamp and Die of the Month from Spellbinders. And this will be from September 2022 called Fall Gnomes. This stamp set is just so cute and I've had so much fun with it. I just love it. The gnome really grew on me. I used to not really be into gnomes, but they are just pretty sweet. So I am just going to create a pumpkin, a gnome, and this circle on the left here is what I'm going to use for the spinning aspect of my card. The spinning wheel will actually turn on the finished product. So I put on the wheel an apple, a coffee, a pumpkin pie, a leaf, and a pumpkin. And this will accompany my little gnome and a big pumpkin. My sentiment really will pull in everything all together and kind of help you understand why I chose to use a wheel for this card. I'm always loving to try different cards, and an interactive card, those are just really fun. And this little spinning wheel is very low tech. All I did to make the circle was circle punched out a white circle. You could also use any circle die that you might have in your stash. And if you don't have any circle dies, you could take a cup or a glass, a mug, anything upside down on a piece of paper, trace it with a circle, and simply cut it out. Easy as pie. Pardon the pun. And that will create the circle. Then stamp your images on like I did and color it up. I'm using Copic markers, and if you have Copics, wonderful. If not, use something else. Use regular markers, use colored pencils, crayons, colored watercolor, anything. And you can make some beautiful little images with this stamp set. I love the beard on the gnome. It just has so much character. You can't even see his little eyes because his nose is so big, and that fluffy beard. Alright, for the hat I'm going to use a couple different colors. First, R59 to create the first stripes. I haven't said all the colors that I've used, but I have shown the caps. So if you're interested in recreating the card exactly with my same colors, you go right for it. But I have all the caps up so you can see what colors I used if I don't say it. This I wanted to be kind of like a little maroon fall card, so I'm using pink and maroon. I'm still not quite sure what the gnome is wearing. Is it a dress? Is it a shirt? Tunic? Undetermined. Anyway, now that I'm finished coloring all of my pieces, I'm going to add my little squiggly arrow. So my sentiment says, be thankful for the little things. That's why I put the little things from the stamp set on my wheel. I took a pencil and drew an arrow with a little squiggly in it, then took my black skinny pen and drew over my pencil. Now I'll just take a high polymer eraser and erase my pencil. I love high polymer erasers. They are simply the best. And I use them all the time with my kindergartners. Alright, now for the wheel, I want to put it so my arrow will point to the objects. I also want to think about where is my gnome going. I think he'll go right over there with his pumpkin. I'll just grab my liquid glue and adhere my gnome right to the card. Now, I accidentally put my card base here onto my card, so I chopped it off. So if you're curious why the back is white, that is why. But with crafting, you have to kind of go with things. Either you move forward and make it work, or you start over. So I chose to move forward and cut off the back. So I'll just glue on my little gnome here, right onto the corner, and put the pumpkin behind him for just a little dimension. Perhaps next time I might pop my gnome up totally to be even more forward. But here comes the fun part, time to create the spinning area. So I have it basically in place where I want it. And I'm going to take my tool-in-one from Spellbinders and use that very pokey part and simply pierce through that circle. And I could see on my card that it went all the way through, and I'm just going to pop it completely through with that tool-in-one. Not to make the hole too big, but just enough for my brad to fit through the center. If you're not familiar with what a brad is, it is basically a piece of metal. It doesn't have to be anything special, but they do make different brads with different designs on them. This one is simply kind of like a little ball. It's very tiny, and it goes through kind of like an earring through the wheel and the card base. So I'm just going to push it through my wheel first. Like I said, it's very teeny tiny, so I have to be kind of delicate. There it is through the wheel. Then I'm going to put it through my card, and it should spin. Okay, now that it's through, I'm just going to check. Yes. Now with the brad, it has two pieces on the back. I just separate them and smush them down, kind of like two little arms. Then it spins. Pretty simple and super cute. I think the recipient will have fun spinning this. All right, now I'm going to attach the whole back part onto my card base. I'm going to just be careful to not put any of my double-sided adhesive near the brad to make sure that it doesn't interfere with my wheel spinning. Then I will put the whole thing onto a new card base. Just like that. To put on card bases, I like to align it with that center spine of the card and then go from there. This one, it looks like I will have to trim off just a little bit of the white edges on the bottom. But not to worry, paper trimmer to the rescue. That is it for this card. So if you have liked the video or learned anything, please hit the like button so I am aware, and subscribe for more crafty content from me in the future. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and if you receive the stamp set, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. Thank you for watching. Bye!